With just the push of a button, Michigan State University officials could have remotely locked the doors at the Union behind me as that deadly shooting took place 2 weeks ago. So why didn't that happen? Well, the university says there's a good reason for it, and it's part of a much bigger debate about building security on campus here. There's a big question brewing at MSU in the wake of the deadly shooting rampage here 2 weeks ago. Why didn't university safety officials use their ability to lock the Union remotely as the shooting was taking place, knowing it was an option? It's where 20-year-old student Brian Frazier was shot and killed when police say 43-year-old Anthony McCrae opened fire.
I don't think that anything should be open to the public right now.
That's the feeling of some Spartans who are still worried about their safety following the murders of Frazier plus Ariel Anderson and Alexandria Verner, the two who were killed at nearby Berkey Hall. 5 others were hurt, and since then, there's a wide-ranging debate on campus about how to better secure the buildings.
A few very brave men in our class used their belts to kind of fashion around the door handle, and they held them closed, sort of like tug of war, held them shut. I think to help students like myself feel safe to go back to campus, I would need a lock on our doors.
Others think a locking system would have given the shooter more of an advantage.
What if he was trapped in the building? What if he was in the building? What if he was stuck in there? I mean, I just don't think that's a reasonable solution to gun violence or to stopping tragedies happening.
I think that there was a lot of students outside that still needed to get to safety. I don't think students should have been locked out, but I do think that there was a lot of other measures that they could have taken. But I do also think that they did the best they could at the time.
A spokesman for University Communications tells Fox 2 that while MSU's police department has the ability to remotely lock the Union and other buildings, doing so also prevents law enforcement and emergency medical responders from accessing the building, ultimately slowing potential response times. The university official says the Union exterior buildings are timed to lock according to its business hours. Still, most students we talked with say there's really one thing they want to see change more than anything.
I think we need reasonable gun control that can actually prevent these tragedies from happening, rather than just making it harder barriers to new buildings, because that's not going to be effective.
Well, the Union is locked and closed for the time being here on campus. The same is true for Berkey Hall. The university administration says they're actually in the process of upgrading their system that relates to remote locking of buildings so they can lock more buildings at once. We'll let you know how that process goes. In East Lansing, Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.